we still want to get it done, but we have got to think safety. That was really nice last night in the bar. That was a really nice atmosphere. I mean, you couldn't organise an atmosphere like that, could
If you had a party and you had that atmosphere, you'd be so chuffed.
Yeah.
Well, that was for people that mostly know each other. So
Yeah.
you've got a whole room of strangers that only know maximum about 4 other people.
That's right.
All that cars on the beach.
Yeah, there's loads of cars on the beaches, aren't there? This is how they get on and off the island.
And there's a car park for when the tide's in. You can't get across. You have to go by boat.
Oh yes, I'm going to look at this street view thinking, yeah, if we come down here at the right time.
It's a bit boring riding the bike on the beach now, isn't it? Oh, getting the bike's really soft. We need to rinse them off tonight. It's fun though, I'm glad we came down here. So I rode on the beach again today.
Yeah.
I'm good at that now.
The ride through the Duloc Valley was breathtaking and the road sublime. A wide valley surrounded by mountains that seemed peaceful in the afternoon sun, but downright menacing when we read the story on the board. This valley witnessed one of the darkest moments of the Great Famine. On a bitterly cold day in 1849, up to 600 starving people gathered in Louisburg seeking food or a ticket to the Westport workhouse. They were told to apply to the poor law officials who were meeting the next day at Delphi, over 10 miles away. Some died overnight. The rest struggled across the mountains following sheep tracks and wading streams. When they arrived at Delphi, the poor law officials rose from lunch, refused to help, and told them to return. No one knows how many died by the wayside of cold, hunger, and exhaustion. Some were buried where they fell. As we stood in the sunshine, with the cool wind whipping through the valley, we tried to imagine those poor people on their doomed journey. You really could feel the emotions stirring with the breeze. Incredible. Right, okay, well here we are on day whatever,
who knows what day it is, but we're in Ireland. We've gone past Galway. In fact, last night we're staying in a place called Westport. Very nice place. There is so much scenery to photograph. As you can hopefully see behind me, but I will do you a 360-degree bit of a spin so you get an idea. We have a wonderful combination of mountains and sea and surf to go with it. Today we weren't sure. This morning over breakfast I had this silly idea that, I could actually get bored of seeing the sea all the time. So if we could afford it, could we take a day of just going around the mountains? But we kind of looked at it and we figured, no, we haven't really got time. Comfortably, we can do the Wild Atlantic Way with the time we've got. If we took a day out, it might make it a little bit punishing. So we decided we'd stick with the sea. And I'll tell you what, I'm not disappointed. So I'm going to turn you around so you can actually watch the view without looking at me. It'll be far, far better. And there you go. See? Who can argue with a view like that? Huh? Who can argue with a view like that? Not really much more to say other than just to show you the view. That's kind of the view with the surf. And then I'll spin it back round. We've got our friends with the Land Rover, the British Land Rover that we've seen a couple of times today. There's the bikes, probably in silhouette because of the sunshine. You won't see them. Oh, and skipping. She always has to do the skipping. Folks, it's day 13, or the morning of day 13, I have to say. What a glorious day yesterday was. What a glorious day. I tell you, Ireland, I have fallen in love with you. I really have. This is the hotel we were at last night. Broadhaven Bay Hotel and Leisure Centre. When we left yesterday morning, we didn't know where we were going to stay. We decided for the latter end of this trip that, particularly because we weren't sure what sort of mileage we would do, then we wouldn't book anything until later in the day. So we kind of plan a route. We know roughly what we can do in a day. We look for towns, we get an idea, but then we just ride. And by lunchtime, we see how much we've done, how much we've got left to do, how much actually we feel like doing. So then at lunchtime we look booking.com. There's quite a few places that discount, last minute discounts and things. And yeah, hey presto, we've got this place. A nice double room for, what was it, about £56 or something or other, I think. So yeah, I was a little bit hesitant to begin with about the idea of not knowing where I would end up at the end of the day, but actually riding in the morning and not working it out till lunchtime is absolutely fine. In fact, yesterday morning we were on Clare Island, and forgive me if I pronounce that wrong, and we just kept seeing signs to Mountain View. Oh, let's go and have a look at that. Deserted village. Oh, let's go and have a look at that. Let's just spend a bit more time here. We were under no time pressures to be anywhere, to have a particular schedule. So we just took the time, did what we wanted. But there was absolutely no pressure in the morning, and we just did what we wanted to do. It was a nice, relaxed way of doing it. Right, breakfast, cup of tea. Let's see whether she can actually make it round this time, shall we? See if she's going to be some silly person that's... Oh dear, it's got to be done. Folks, it's well, I don't know what the date is. Yeah, all night we've been listening. Well, I was awake at 5 o'clock in the morning, listening to the howling wind through the gable around the corner, listening to the beer barrels being blown around, clanking around as they're being blown around by the wind. Forecast is 25 mile an hour winds with gusts up to 40. Now that is going to be interesting on the bikes. If the wind really is that bad, then we've got a couple of options where we will hole up for a couple of days. This wind is supposed to be around for 2 days. Tonight it's supposed to be really heavy rain with it. We still want to crack on, we still want to get it done, but we have got to think safety. So anyway, that's it then.